Good morning, dear students, and welcome back. For once again, I am happy and delighted to be with you to start the second poem of your syllabus, Two Blossoms. This is an important and interesting poem in which the poet is directly addressed to the blossoms of a tree and questioned them how they have burns with a short span of life, and after 1.5 hours they fade away. So the poet felt sorry on looking the blossoms of the tree. In this poem, the poet sees in the blossoms the fate of all living things. All living things have very short time to stay on this earth, and then they glide into the grave. In the short transience of the life in the poem, one by one the ideas has discussed the poem. So let me start the poem with you stanza wise. So dear students, please listen carefully. I am going to recite the first stanza of the poem. Fair place of a fruitful tree, why do ye fall so fast? Your date is not so past, but you may stay yet here a while, to blush and gentle smile and go at last. Dear students, in the first stanza of the poem, the poet looks the lovely blossoms of a tree. He calls them the fair pledge of a fruitful tree. He looks that the blossoms are falling fast. He says that the allotted days of their life haven't yet passed, so they needn't hurry away so fast. He says that they have yet time to stay here for a while. They have yet time to bloom and smile. And when they have lived their full life, they can go away at last. The poet here seems to be conscious of the fact that flowers blooms but to fade away, but he didn't want them to fall so fast. He wants them to blush and smile before they die. Death is to come when it will come, but before that, life must be lived to the full. That is what the poet seemed to suggest here. This was all about the first stanza. And in the second stanza, what the poet is saying, listen dear students carefully. What were ye born to be, and hours are half delight, and so to bid good night. Theos pity nature bright here for, merely to show your world and lose your quiet. And the second stanza of the poem, the poet says that the poet is filled with the shock and surprise to see how soon the blossoms of a tree falls and fade away. He wonders if the blossoms were born merely for an hours or half delight and then to go away forever. He calls it a pity that nature brought the fruits merely to show their beauty for a while and then loses them forever. Here the poet expresses his grief that such lovely things as blossoms have so short a life to live. This is about the second stanza. And the third stanza, what the poet is saying, dear students, listen carefully. But you are lovely leaves, where we may read how soon things have their end. Though you're so brave, and after they have sown their pride, like you a while they glides into the grave. Dear students, in the third stanza of the poem, the poet tells us that the poet compares the lovely blossoms of a tree to the leaves of the book, means the paper, the page of the books. He says that in these lines we can read how soon things have their end. The poet pays a tribute to the beauty of the blossoms by saying that no other things can ever be as bright and colorful as the blossoms. But all things of beauty have the same fate. After they have to shown their beauty for a while, they glides into the grave. Like the lovely blossoms of a tree, they falls and wither away forever. Thus, the poet thinks out of the transience of all the life on this earth. So this was all about the poem. Dear students, I hope you have understand the poem. Stay at home, stay safe and stay blessed. This is my wishes. Thank you for listening and watching. Fi amanillah. Allah Hafiz.